Hello? What? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good. Mm. Hmm. Oh, okay. It's online. Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Okay. If you are watching on YouTube, obviously I'm not live yet. I'm trying to figure out how to stream from Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'm gonna figure this out. Hopefully. Oh, good. Okay, great. Figure this out. All right, so that's good. This is working. Hopefully. Okay. Okay, great. Figure this out. So that's good. Or maybe I could just mute. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do the same thing. Shoot. Yeah, I bet you I can't. Okay, let's see. YouTube. Make sure Tyler. So I'm not there yet, guys. It starts at 5. I'm just trying to make sure it's going to stream both to Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching already, get your ingredients together. And I'm going to mute this so that it doesn't make you guys lose your minds. Stream both to Facebook and YouTube. So there we go. Okay, good. So I muted that. Hi, great. I'm working on it. Thanks for your support. I have, for people who don't have Facebook, I have the YouTube stream going. I'm getting my greens together, and now I'm just going to check my Facebook stream. I have no fucking idea how this works, but thanks for your support. All right. Let's see. This is too much technology for me, you guys. Like, seriously, too much technology. I don't even know how to find my own live stream on Facebook. So, and then if the internet goes down, I swear to God, I'm going to flip a table. All right, it's on my page. I'm looking at my own page. I do not see anything. Videos, groups. And Facebook is the key because honestly, Facebook is where a lot of my followers are, and I just want to make sure that it goes through. Let's see here. Let's see. It says it's waiting for that video. Oh, maybe I just need to click on go live now. Oh, I'm terrified. Okay, let's see. Use stream key. Use a stream key. No, that's not what I want. Oh my God. Let's see if it ends up working, because I'm doing this with like a secondary restreamer, and it just doesn't seem like it's like working. Waiting for live video. I hate you, internet. I hate you so much. Thank God I started early, you guys. I'm serious. Okay. I might just try to like redo this. Okay. All right. It says it's going. And it says there are people watching me. Let me do the event. It might be streaming to the wrong motherfucking page, yo. That's why. Oh, I hate everybody. Okay. All right, wrong feed, you guys. I'm moving to my fan page. And wish me luck. Okay. Oh, I hate. Okay, sorry guys. Everybody's watching me on Facebook. I'm changing this channel, so stand by. All right. Thank God I started early, which I never, ever do. It keeps connecting to the wrong. Okay, here we go. Oh, this might work. This might work. This might be it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back and look. I'm gonna close this window, and I really need a tech person, and I agree with you. I agree with you guys. Ooh, somebody said I was live on Facebook. Who said that? Hold on. Am I? Okay, person Fabiola, if you're watching this, can you tell me if I'm live on my fan page or on my personal page? I'm literally watching the chats on YouTube to see if I got this right. Because in which case I'm really excited about this. This is like a totally new thing for me. And I have, fan page. Fan page? Is it the fan page? Oh, what a relief. Okay, great. All right, I'm really excited. Okay, so guys, the happy hour starts at 5. I'm getting my ingredients together. We have some special, thanks for showing up early. We have some special guests joining today. Just send me all your good vibes that I don't screw this up or my internet doesn't drop. But at 5 o'clock, I'll announce. If it does drop, I'll come right back online if I can manage it. We're gonna try to keep it going for as long as we can. And I'm super excited you're here. And now I'm just gonna double check my Zoom, make sure I have audio, and we're gonna go from there. Thanks, guys. Slight lag, yeah. There'll be a slight lag. There'll be like a 20-second lag, everybody, between Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook. And I'll try to keep an eye on the YouTube comments, just so I can see if you have questions or everything. Like, you can also ask questions on Twitter. We're just going to be multi-platform today because I haven't really worked out how to do questions on YouTube and Zoom and Facebook. So I'll try to look at everything, but I'm just one woman, but you guys are so awesome. Thanks for being so supportive. Okay. Now let's see, I'm live here and I haven't muted it, but no one else is talking, which is why I can't hear myself. So I think it's fine. Okay, I'm really excited. I'm just so pleased with myself. Okay, great. All right, give us a few minutes and we'll be right back. Enjoy Beyonce. Okay, we're really close. I'm getting some ice. I'm so excited, you guys. I really hope that whatever crazy janky thing that I set up to do this, like, is going to work. I'm thrilled, and let's just hope this. I can see the YouTube image in the back, and remind me in the comments if you guys are commenting on YouTube, because I feel like you guys have the best handle on this. If you lose the feed on either platform, I can't look at YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So if anything wonky happens with Facebook, then just let me know, because then I will be so happy that this whole kind of rickety arrangement held. And it's 4:59 for anybody. I'll say this again at 5, but we're making French 75s, but you don't have to drink what I'm drinking. You can drink whatever you like. And I'm super excited because remember I had some lemon juice before for when I was making my whiskey sours. I just kept it like a Great Depression homemaker, and I have my little jar of lemon juice, and I'm excited that I'm able to reuse it for something new. And this is my favorite drink. So I'm going to go. I think we're live, and oh my God, my first special guest is here. Let's see what's going on. Hi, Joey. Can you hear me?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm so bad at this.
Okay, I can hear you perfectly.
I can't hear you.
Okay. You can't hear me? Turn up the sound on your computer. Can you do that? Turn up the volume.
Okay, I got it now.
There we go. Hi.
I got it.
Hi there.
Hi, Aisha.
So excited. Hi, Joe. How are you? Well, we're starting. It's 5 o'clock. I'm so excited.
Here's where I'm at.
Oh, beauteous, beauteous. You're at the beach. At the beach is lovely. It's lovely. Okay. We're live. We're live on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay. I don't even know how to get on those, but that's okay.
That's okay. You don't have to worry about it. Sit there and be beautiful, beautiful Joe, beautiful beach Joe. And great. And can everybody? I have people commenting on YouTube, which is really helpful to me. So thanks, guys, because you guys are helping me understand whether this is working. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Hey, good. Hi. How are you?
Okay. I'm good. Are you
Yeah,
talking to me?
I'm talking to you, Joey.
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, we're good. We're here at our beach place because we just go from point A to point B.
Yeah.
We don't have to see anybody. We just go from one house to this house.
Nice. That's really nice.
Minutes, and it's great.
And probably where you are, there's a lot fewer people than here in the city.
It's great. It's very wide open and empty, and it's just the us and the ocean and the sand. So it's all
I'm glad. I'm really glad. And the weather finally got good out here, guys.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a little windy here and a little cool, but nice, perfect. No, beautiful.
Good. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah.
Where are you in LA?
I'm in LA, and it's our first good day that we've had in a while. And when you're stuck in a house, and I know there are people in way worse situations than I am, but when you're stuck in the house and it's dreary outside, you're kind of like not that motivated to like do anything, right. And kind of your general anxiety about things can kind of keep you low. But today was the first really beautiful sunny day. So I went out, I took my mom for a walk. She not like she's my puppy, but I took my mom for a walk, and that was really nice. It was a beautiful.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, to everybody who's watching, thank you so much for joining us for Courage and Stone Liquid Courage Happy Hour. And this is, I think, our 5th or 6th one. And every single one, as you guys know, we've been doing a different charity. We've been promoting a different charity that's focused on COVID relief. This one is for Feeding America, which is an umbrella organization, a nationwide umbrella organization that both organizes and supplies food banks across the country. And for me, I try to pick charities that I know aren't just doing important work, but do their work efficiently, because I think I've said this before, sometimes some charitable organizations just aren't that good with their money. And, humans are humans, but sometimes not all of the money you give them goes to the people they serve. And one of the really good things about Feeding America and all the charities that we've supported on this happy hour, they have a really high efficiency rating, meaning that most or all of the money that you donate goes directly to the people that they serve. So obviously right now there's a lot of food insecurity because people aren't working, and for families that maybe were already living paycheck to paycheck or already had some kind of insecurity, this is a really big blow for them. So Feeding America is a great organization. If you can donate, great. If you can't donate, don't worry about it. Everybody's in a different situation in their lives. But as little as $5 helps, because they scrape all those $5 together and they make it a big pile of $5. So if you feel good about it, then do it. And if you can't do it, then more power to you. We want everybody to just feel comfortable and supported and loved. And then guys who are on YouTube, because those are the comments that I can see. If you have questions, please feel free to ask them on YouTube, on the YouTube chat, and also you can ask me on Twitter, and I'll look at my Twitter feed and just make sure to mention me, and I will look and see what you have asked me, and I will answer your questions. Somebody already said I was trying to sort out a lot of people got on here early, Joe. It's not that I'm not technological. It's just, I bump up against the upper limits of my ability.
You're not technological. I was so frantic thinking, I hope I'm doing this right. I tried to go on this other computer and like, no, that won't work. I better stick to this where you sent the original emails. Okay.
Right, and that's why I wanted to send it to you guys early and try to make it simple. So all you had to do was like click.
No, you did. You did everything right. I'm just like a dinosaur.
But also, like, I think the anxiety of technology can stymie you more than, do you know what I mean? Like, it's probably a little simpler than you think, but you just get like anxious about it,
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand. I understand now my father's hesitation to use a microwave oven back in the day.
Right.
I'm not getting near that.
Your newfangled gadgets. But I wanted, typically I just do this on Instagram, and you can only add one friend on Instagram. You can only talk to one other person, and I wanted to have as many of us together as I could get. So I literally was on the phone last night with like this friend of mine, Jonathan Mangum, actually, who's one of our fourth chairs on Who's Line. And he does like an improv show online. And I was like, how do I do this? And he gave me all this information. And even after he talked to me like very calmly and slowly for like a half an hour, I hung up the phone and I was like, so I spent all yesterday and all today trying to get it together. And
you got it together. It's great. I feel like you're here in the room with me. It's great.
I'm so excited. Zoom is actually, people have been hearing a lot about Zoom. Have you done a lot of Zooms since?
I've only done one other,
Yeah.
It was for a thing on the Outdoor Channel I did with them. There's a show, and that's how they do it. And they had all the people on the screen, and then they even showed clips of things that I had done. Like they said, "Oh, and how about when you were Joey Zaza?" And all of a sudden there was a clip from Godfather 3, and I was like, "Well, hello." So I mean, these were people who kind of,
yeah,
what they do. They do it every day.
And they have a producing team. Like there's a way where you can you can share your screen. Like if I had something, if I was playing something on my computer, I could like then make that this, but I don't know how to do
that. Yeah, no, I'm just lucky I have see you. I'm happy with that.
It's honestly, it's the small things, Joe. It's really the very small things. So let's see. People can go ahead and ask questions, and then I'll make the drink. I just let's see who this is. Hold on a second. Stand by. Who is this? Let's see. Let's see who's coming in. We're adding another person. Did I admit them? Did it work? Uh-oh. Well, hello, AJ.
Oh, AJ's there. Good.
You have to just add your audio. Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I see you. There you are.
Hi.
So
what is up?
Very excited. I love you guys so much. I think I'm enjoying this more than anybody watching at home. Hi.
How's it going?
Good. It's so good to see your face.
Good to see yours.
We're live on the interwebs, everybody. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Not much to complain about. you know.
You're far away from here. You're far away from
Yeah.
the city. So it's got to feel really different to you. This whole quarantine thing's got to feel a little different for you.
Absolutely. I mean, we took off right away as soon as Makai's school got canceled. We were like, peace. Otherwise, we would be stuck on the beach right now, unable to go on the beach. It would have
I'm
been
stuck on the
torture.
beach right now, but I kind of like being on the beach. So.
Joey, can you
Right. So
go to
you're
the beach, Joe? Well, like, is it blocked off, or can you go down to the water if you want to?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's open. It's it's a different county too than LA in a sense. So, but people are, everybody's good. Everybody's keeping their there's not many people at all though. But there's so much space. You could have 100 yards between people if you want.
Right.
No, nothing's closed down here. I just meant in the sense that
I'll be trying to.
nobody's really. Everybody's got their own little
Doing stuff.
couples, family things, and it's just great. It's fine.
The beach out here is completely, I don't know how it is down like by your place, but it's fenced off. Like you cannot get on the beach. Santa Monica Beach is like, you can't, it's $1,000 fine to go to the beach.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's they're patrolling it hardcore too. We've been talking with some of our friends out that way, and it sucks because a lot of people live right on the beach and you can't go out on the beach. So everyone's just kind of like stuck in their houses, and you're just kind of on top of each other, but inside your house. So I don't know. I feel really grateful that I got out of here. So
yeah. It's
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you close for a minute, but we can see you and hear you perfectly now.
Yeah.
I also warned everybody that my internet, like I think everybody else is.
Okay, yeah, fair. So my internet does not work well.
Yeah, it freezes every once in a while, a little bit.
Oh, did we lose Joe?
No, he's there. I think it's you.
I'm here.
Going great.
Much like the president, I'm going to blame everybody else for what goes wrong. They're far away. So, but the internet's been bad for everybody. Like, it just keeps dropping. Like it just keeps dropping out. Like I have cable over Wi-Fi and it keeps dropping. I think everybody's having the same issues. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm back.
Yep.
I'm back, folks. I'm back.
We have you. It's awesome. Someone said that they listened to Joe reading The Giving Tree today.
Oh yeah, I did a thing for Special Olympics. I was supposed to do a thing with the Chicago Cubs right before the season started in Arizona at their training camp, and it was a whole thing for Special Olympics, and of course it got canceled. So instead, they asked if I would, read a couple books, like children's books, that they can so they can put that out there for these, children to watch. So since Shel Silverstein was such a dear friend of mine, and I might have told you the story that he gave a copy of The Giving Tree to my wife Arlene when she had a miscarriage, the first time she got pregnant, and then he drew on the inside cover of the tree with the one leaf falling off the tree, and he carved the trunk of the tree so it said Arlene. With the leaf falling.
Wow, how special.
Unbelievably beautiful. I mean, it's one of the most treasured possessions is that book. So I read that book, and then I also read Baby's Day Out, which is the movie I did years ago. Yeah. And they actually made the children's book after they made the movie.
Oh, no way.
Because in the movie, you see the nanny reading the book, which didn't exist, but then there was the movie. But then they came out with the children's book. So Dan, my assistant, did a great job because he took I read the book, but as I read the book, he inserted all these little scenes. So when the nanny's saying, and then I saw the gorilla, and then all of a sudden you see me getting beat up by the gorilla.
That's amazing. Can you guys see Kirsten?
Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, I haven't seen AJ. That's nice. I saw Joe.
Great.
Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. This is really thrilling. So Dan, was he just like doing the pieces, or they were like?
Yeah, what he did is I filmed myself reading the book in my office, did it by myself and sent it to him. And then he edited it by inserting at the proper times as I'm reading a chapter. It's a short book. It's a children's book. The whole thing takes 5 minutes. But within it, every time I would mention something that could relate to the movie, all of a sudden he'd insert that scene, and you'd see it was pretty funny because
Oh, that's
as
cool.
anybody who knows that movie, I get the hell beat out of me in that film. It was a John Hughes picture. No, it's like it's like Home Alone.
Wait, what? I'm behind. What? I'm sorry.
Babies Day Out. Joe read.
Oh,
the book
oh,
they-
right. Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's so
Yeah.
adorable. Kirsten is doing nightly book readings too. Like you're doing like bedtime stories, right?
Yes, there's a book. There's a bunch of children's books from the 70s by a little witch named Dory, and they're so boring. But then they're so boring, and I've wanted to own the rights to them.
Not when you read them.
You could read like a box of cereal.
I can't figure out how to get the rights to them because I can't find the woman. I can't, but I own every single, and they're like all discontinued library books from the 70s. And I can't figure out how to, I'm trying to, so I feel like maybe this is me just trying to put my stamp on like mine.
Maybe she'll reach out to you. I mean, if she's still alive.
She's like, I know she's in her 90s and I know she lives somewhere, but that's all I know.
Mm.
Right.
Oh,
That's
all right.
smart.
She's in the 90s. She's ahead of the game.
Sometimes there are these, I mean, I get it, but like I just read an article about Judy Blume, who's in her 80s and has just never, ever given up Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, like just never wanted it to be a book or be a movie. And she finally just sold the rights to
She really.
just now.
No
like,
way.
I think it was less about money and just more about like people love this story and
Finding a worthy person for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This
that's so
quarantine
tricky.
Situation, you guys, you save your spinach containers because you know what you do with them? You put your Lego pieces in them.
Obviously.
Then your cat is trying to eat it and you have to tear off the thing in the middle of a fancy interview.
I feel like your house like is just like like an Escher painting or like a Rube Goldberg arrangement of exciting things happening.
That's your complimentary way of saying it's messy. You're right.
No, it's just like there's a lot of exciting things happening at once.
With a dash of like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Oh, I wish. I wish.
The excitement.
I did bring ingredients.
Okay, good. Well, let's talk about the drink and talk about the charity again, and then we'll answer some more questions. So everybody, as I mentioned online, we're going to be making French 75s. This is one of my favorite drinks. I'm branching out now from some of the straight spirits into something with juice based, more refreshing. And I love a French 75, and the ingredients are lemon juice. This is lemon juice that I've been very, very thriftily saving from when I made the whiskey sours. Yes.
Old lime will work.
Citrus will work. Any citrus will work. I mean,
Substitute.
like, please yourself. And then gin. Today I'm going to use this Beehive gin.
Good.
Was this the one that I want? I think there's one that I have that's made with honey. I might go run and grab it off my bar. But I have lots of yummy gins, and any gin will do. And I also have this excellent gin right here from this very special distillery.
Oh,
Yes.
that's the good stuff.
Excellent. But I think I'm going to go grab this honey gin over there off my bar.
I have, and I think Aisha will bless this idea. I'm going to use aquavit.
Oh, I just love everything that. Well, I was just holding up a bottle very similar to yours when you came in. I know this is the stuff. Maybe the reason this is empty is because I drank it all because it's so yummy.
I've had that gin. That gin is
Because
really
you're in
good.
quarantine, and what's a girl to do?
What is a girl to do? I can't remember. I'm gonna go see if I can find my other bottle of honey gin as well. Lemon, gin, any kind of bubbles. Bubbles are important.
Now here's the problem. I don't have any simple syrup. I have elderflower syrup. Will that taste good with aquavit, or should I just stick with gin?
Well, I think that the elderflower and the aquavit might fight. You know what I mean?
think they might.
I would lean towards the
I'm
elderflower.
just gonna have to go with regular gin.
Yeah,
Don't get creative.
exactly. But then after this, be funky. I mean, live your life. And yes, simple syrup or superfine sugar or granulated sugar of your choice. I've been using a lot of agave and brown sugar, but I found this in my fridge. I got really excited about it, and I found one very precious packet of sugar. Because I'm one of those Hollywood jerks who doesn't eat a lot of sugar. Like, oh, I don't eat sugar. It's bad for me. Anyway, but I found a packet of sugar. I was very excited about that. I'm gonna go look for my honey gin. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice to see your guys' faces. That is a beautiful view, AJ.
Yeah, it's not too shabby. It's nice to have a lot of space to run around.
Yeah.
The boys can
You have no
run
trouble.
around and be feral.
This is this wild gin. It's Bar Hill gin. It's made from honey, and
Ooh.
I'm gonna try this guy. But any delicious gin that you love will do. Okay, so here we go, everybody. And this is the way.
Oh, and can you remind me of the charity that we're doing?
Oh, yes, that was right. I was going to say that. So for everybody who's just joining, we are doing this to support Feeding America. Feeding America is a very highly rated food bank organization. It supports food banks across the country. And as I mentioned earlier, there's always a need for these food banks. We have an incredible number of hungry people in this country, not just people who are homeless, not just people who are incredibly food or income insecure, but think about all the families whose kids get 1 or 2 meals a day at school, and now they're not in school. Those families are not able to feed their children right now. And
Or correct me if
the parents aren't working. And so the people in that income bracket that were already income insecure and are not working at all, both don't have that added kind of security of the kid going to school and getting meals there, but can't buy food. So what were you going to say, Kirsten?
Oh, I was going to say, that's just something that I was rethinking about because of all of this, is the food insecurity of like that. A lot of us can just be like, oh, there's food in the fridge. And it's not that even they might have some food in the fridge, but it's like you have to parse out that food, which no one should have to do when you've got a kid that's hungry, how kids want a million snacks a day.
And think about it now, you've got kids home, anxious, parents anxious, the kids going ape crap bananas. So what's great about a food bank is that they don't ask any questions. So you don't need to prove your income level. You don't need to prove that you're poor or that you're hungry. These food banks serve anybody that comes in and asks for food equally. And a lot of times they're also providing essential items like paper towels and soap and hand disinfectant and other things that a family needs to stay safe. I bet you guys didn't think about this. We're also talking about the fact that everyone should wash their hands. In a lot of poor communities, I'm thinking of big parts of Chicago and Detroit, Flint, Michigan, they either have unsafe water or no water at all. So think about a family that doesn't just have food insecurity, but they can't even wash their hands. So these groups are giving out paper towels, they're giving out wipes, they're giving out, masks, they're giving out all kinds of things that'll keep families safe and healthy. So anything you can give is great. If you can't give, that's okay too. As little as $5 makes a big difference because they make all those $5 into one giant $5, and then they use that to buy stuff. And that is what we were doing it for. It's called Feeding America. You can find it on my socials. And now let's make this drink. And okay, and I have a very brave recipe here, which is going to be a little saucy. I really like this cocktail before dinner. Like, I think it's a really good like pre-dinner drink if you're like out. You're going to so 1.5 ounces of gin. Yay. You're like going to a steakhouse and you want to seem like super fancy, and then you go, I'll have a French 45. So that, and then everybody goes, says you're a nut, which also happens. So 1.5 ounces of gin, and then 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. And you can you may
I
need
have to do a half one because my glass is really small.
I know, I don't have any champagne flutes. I'm going to use this French coupy thing. But you know what you can use, guys? Jelly jar, tumbler, your hands, no judgment.
One of my, what I was going to use was Joey invited me to a Simpsons party, and my only water glasses, these two girls know because they've been at my house, my only water glasses are those season 26 Simpson water glasses.
That's the best.
I'm glad Fat Tony provided you with something there.
Fat Tony.
Something of meaning. And you can fiddle with this. There's some that have more gin, some that have less gin. The big danger with this drink is it tastes so juicy and delicious that sometimes you kind of knock it back a little too fast. But, just stay safe. No one can drive anywhere anyway. Okay, so 1.5 ounces of gin, 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of I put in 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, and you can just add sugar to taste. And then you're going to stir all this around. You add the bubbles last so that they don't get flat, but you could shake this or you could just pour it in the glass, guys. You don't have to be fancy.
That's a fancy spoon.
This is
my friends are fancy.
This is so funny. Like, this is a bar spoon and like a bartender spoon. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, why is this all twisty like this? Like, this is just
it's beautiful.
But it makes it so that you can stir the drink with your finger and it just moves around in your fingers and you don't have to use your wrist. You don't have to go like this.
I never knew that.
Yep.
A lot of thought went into that. That's a good spoon.
Every once in a while. I have this precious little collection of bar items that I collected years ago, and I feel very pleased with myself. Okay, so into the glass, and I'm actually going to go a little short with that. And then any kind of bubbles will do, guys. You don't have to be. It doesn't have to be, you know, the very own.
Mine's just some sparkling wine.
Any bubbles, any kind of bubbles.
It's just
Yes. Spumante.
Cooks.
Go.
Cava.
The
Yeah.
really fancy stuff, cooks.
Cooks.
That, I think it's $2.
Oh my God. I used to drink so much Cooks in high school. Don't drink before 21.
Right.
Okay. And then trick for opening a bottle of champagne so you don't take your eye out. Don't face it towards your face. That's the first thing. Twist the bottle, not the cork. You hold the cork firm and you twist the bottle and then.
Woo!
I didn't do that.
Yay.
You top it with bubs. I mean, it's like, it ends up being like 3 ounces of bubbles. Okay. You're very classy. If you were fancying it, if you would remember, which I didn't, you could like put some sugar on your glass, but I was just too excited about trying to remember what I was doing to do that. And then I'm gonna garnish this
And I can hear it.
with a lemon.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
It's mine.
this is the French 70.
I have my thermos.
So do I, Joe. Hey, yo.
Cheers.
Everybody.
Cheers.
It is very citrusy and juicy, and you could just drink one of these and not even
It's
know.
it's like mama's lemonade, yo. It's so good.
It's delightful.
It's for someone just
I'm
something.
imagining that's what I'm drinking, and it's delicious.
I'm not gonna put. I don't want to put AJ on blast, but
Please do.
AJ's a tequila girl. We've all drunk a lot of tequila together. Tequila.
What?
I mean, tequila and rosé juice. Juice.
Oh,
Juice.
wow. You made it sound like we mixed those together.
No, don't do that.
That's a new kind of
I
drink.
mean, we're a little more classier than that, but
We're grown ass ladies. We're very grown ladies.
yeah.
Okay, so I can see the chat, everybody on YouTube. So if you want to ask questions, feel free. And I'm also going to look on Twitter. If people want to ask me questions on Twitter, I will go to my Twitter feed and I will look and see what anybody. Oh, I
Can I
don't.
be telling? I mean, I reposted you, but am I supposed to tell
You can do whatever you like.
people about this?
I mean, if you want to, but like, there's no pressure. It's
I did, but I didn't know if I should do it now again.
Oh, you could do it now. You could let people know that you were live now. I'm gonna just give people the YouTube. You guys all came on after I kind of got my shit together, but some people were a little early to my chat, and I spent about like 25 minutes trying to make sure this was gonna work. So there was like, they came on and there was just like nobody in the frame, and then you just kind of like going like, oh God, I can't. I
You
don't.
can come on to this.
I'm like running away.
You can come on to this right now if you go to Aisha's. It's on YouTube, right?
It's on YouTube / Aisha Tyler or Facebook / Aisha Tyler. For some people don't have Facebook, so I put it on YouTube as well, just so that people had an option if they don't.
So come and talk with us.
What she said.
Yeah, come talk
those
with
two
us.
things. Those two
Joe
things.
and I don't have a clue how any of this
I
works.
have no idea.
Figuring it out.
We're happy to
Me
be
and Joe last week when we did it, me and Joe we both learned we have very impressive Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wi-Fi's good. I do have good
I do
Wi-Fi.
You guys were like perfection. Nothing dropped. Nothing went wrong. I was just like in misery the whole time. I couldn't figure out how to make it.
But all I did was hit a button. I entered the room or whatever it is.
Yep.
That's all I
And then a couple of times it was just me and you, Joey.
I know. That's it.
Come on out.
There was a period of time where the internet couldn't see you and the people running the chat couldn't see you, and I was gone. It was just you two talking to yourselves.
It was lovely.
First
I'm
thing-
not going to beat anybody up. I'm not going to beat anybody up about that last chat, but like, it didn't work.
Oh,
Like,
we're all
nothing-
figuring it out.
it felt like no one had tested anything beforehand, which is why I came on so early to try to like make sure that this was going to work.
No.
I'm already so tired. Like every time I have to learn, like my internet's crappy and I want to install like a new, like a Wi-Fi booster. And I just came and like, I don't know, I'm looking at it. I'm just like, just plugging it in is going to be too hard for me. I can't. I can't do it.
I had to teach my mom. My mom has a memoir class she's in, and she doesn't teach the class. She's in the class, but everyone was so afraid of Zoom. So I had to teach her Zoom for her
America.
memoir class. It was
Amazing.
super intense, but she did it. It was exciting.
What's
Are there
up?
I'm
questions?
very familiar with Zoom. because Mackay does all of his school
Right.
over Zoom. It's very handy. I
Oh.
mean, I am a teacher now, guys.
How is that going? You're like stuck home with your kids. Are you homeschooling your kids? Oh, horrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, your kids are delightful.
It's
I
amazing.
think
I'm
my
loving
kids
it.
rather homeschool, but I'm terrified by that. Is it?
I'm really enjoying it. Like the nerd in me. I'm like, oh, we're learning about fractions this week.
Sure. And you're cut out for that. Totally.
Are they sending you like a curriculum to follow?
Yeah, we do. We follow it. But I love it because like Mackay, my oldest, he never tells me what's going on. And I'm always asking him, hey, how's it going? Did you get that assignment done? And he's like an 11-year-old boy. He's like, yeah, mom, yeah. So now I get all of the assignments. I know about everything. So yeah.
Yeah,
The
he
control.
he can't be like, yeah, I totally did it. We didn't even like when kids are like, no, I didn't have any homework today. And you're like, are you sure?
Yeah.
You're like, no, now
Yeah.
I know.
He can't hide nothing from me now.
How old is he like in middle school? Is he like, I don't know.
He starts middle school next year.
Oh my
like,
God. Amazing.
insane. And then Phoenix starts kindergarten.
Wow.
Yeah.
A baby in my head. It's incredible.
Yeah. It's nuts. It's going by way too fast.
Oh wow. So exciting.
Way too fast.
So exciting. Okay, let's see. Really quickly, people are asking about the charity. The charity is Feeding America. You can go to feedingamerica.org to donate. Right when you go to the first page, they tell you a lot about how they are specifically attacking the COVID-19 crisis and what they are doing to help people, keep them safe, keep them healthy, fed, all those things. So feedingamerica.org is the website. Also, Courage and Stone, 30% of everything we sell is going to support the U.S. Bartenders Guild to keep out-of-work bartenders afloat. As you know, a lot of restaurants are keeping they can still keep their staffs on, they can still keep open on some level because they're doing takeout and they're doing delivery. But bartenders cannot work right now. They have no way of making a living. There's lots of people out of work, and I'm not picking one group over the other, but I run a cocktail company and we owe a lot to the bartending world and to bartenders specifically. So 30% of what you buy from Courage and Stone goes directly to the U.S. Bartenders Guild, and that's courageandstone.com. And let's answer questions. Oh, I'm looking at the Feeding America website and it's exciting. I mean, questions. Let's see. This is a good one for the girls, and then I have one for everybody. People want to know what our favorite, I'm going to add the phrase family friendly moment from a hot tub wine machine is.
Are there any?
I know. I don't know that there are. A lot of grown-up things have happened at that thing that we can't talk about on the internet.
Well, there was one. We can talk about the time. What was it? You guys had to work one last day at work, and it wasn't like you had lines and or anything like that. And you did take a car. There was nothing untoward, but you actually came to a hot tub wine machine. I did not have to work, but you three did.
So,
true story.
Okay, I'm going to try to clean this up.
Drink responsibly, friends.
In our defense, we had one scene. It was at night. None of us had any dialogue. And
Did I not have shared that? Was that a bad one?
No, it's fine. It's a great story. I love it. It's a good story. I'm going to take the parts out that I think are incriminating. So it was the last. It was the last scene of the night. It was late at night. Like our call was like 8 or something like that, and none of us had any dialogue.
Yeah.
And it was also the last day of work, like the last day of the season.
And we got at my house at like 1 o'clock or something.
So we thought, well, we'll just go and have like a couple of glasses of wine in Kirsten's hot tub. And then we'll all take an Uber together. Like none of us drove. We got a driver and we all got in the same car to go to work. And we just had like a lot more wine than a couple of glasses.
Well, I'm a cheap drunk. It doesn't take much for me. It's like I sniff it and I'm like, woo.
None of us. All of us can hold our liquor and we're cheap drunks. We're both of those
All
things.
of that. And I just think it was like we were having a great afternoon. We were drinking rosé in the sun. We were talking. Like I think the hot tub kind of accelerates your metabolism.
We had senioritis.
We weren't looped. We just had like a little bit of wine. But
also, I feel it's important to add that the reason why we met before we went into work, because it's virtually next to impossible to figure out when all 4 of us can get together.
Yes.
And that was the only day where it was like, okay, well, we work, but it's not until 2 a.m. or whatever.
We had nothing else going on
let's
because it was a work day, right? Like it was a work day. So we're like, okay, we know we don't have any other plans today.
Exactly. It was actually a day that we could all make our schedules work.
Joey, did you have to be there? Or did you behold the wonder that was?
Joe was there. You was there.
I was there when you all arrived for work. Yeah, right.
Remember, it was the car crash night, but you might not have been in the car with us.
I don't recall.
This was like season 12 when there was a big car wreck.
It wasn't this
Oh, I
last
remember
year, it
what-
was the year before.
It was the cliffhanger year.
You know, the one where the SUV blows up and we're all like, all of our lives are in peril. That's
Yeah.
pretty much the end of every
That happens every
season.
couple of years.
And I had I'm not going to get into more detail in this, but I had an interaction with someone on the show who I respect and love very deeply. And I thought I was being really funny and like kind of like witty and wry, and I recorded it. And the next day I was like, I'm a monster. So I apologized. And I said,
everyone at work knows us very well and they love us and they understand what that was, and they all got it.
God, I was like, just sometimes you wake up after a cocktail or two and you just make a mental inventory of who you might need to like apologize to.
I think our hot tub wine machines though, they have a template and they stick to form. So that's why it's similar to like us working when people say like, what's your favorite memory? It's a template and it sticks to form. So you can say like, they're all the same and they're all wonderful. Like, it's just, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't pick out a thing.
We laugh, we cry, we laugh again.
The last time we all got together was at Joe's amazing house.
Yes.
And that was everybody. And that was something else.
So that dovetails with someone, which is two questions. People were asking, how often do we talk since the show has wrapped? And
not enough.
Yeah, whenever we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we can.
We text a lot.
We got a bananas text chain, yo.
Yeah.
We have a lot of plans. We have a lot of good plans for future events.
Yeah, we do.
We just have to the world has to kind of get itself together. And with all
Yeah.
the craziness has to end for all of us, the world.
And I think
Everyone's just so busy all the time. It's impossible. It's like next to impossible to like, it's like herding kittens. It's like, okay, guys, come on, we can do this.
Yeah, and everyone's busy. People have families, and and then obviously now we can't get together for a while,
But this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at us.
It's so nice.
Look at us getting
Someone was
together.
asking also, what do we miss most about being on set? And I think that it's the other side of that question, which is like, I think what I remember the most about the last year was we all kept reminding ourselves and each other, like, we have to really be here now because this is so special, and we're always going to feel this way about each other, but we're never going to have this much time together again.
Yeah.
And
No, don't say it. They could do a reboot.
I'm so down for a reboot, you guys. I'm like, I have a shoebox full of pennies to contribute. I mean, absolutely. It's like the everyday kind of like, how was your night and how are you doing? The casual stuff that you miss.
Yeah, I mean, I really miss the moments in the jet where we're all just kind of like trapped in there, but not really. There's something magical happens.
And I'm right outside and I can't hear any inside jokes.
The jet, I was gonna say the jet and the round table room.
And
I
Hannah
miss
the caterer too. I miss Hannah the caterer very much.
Oh, I miss everybody.
My dude, every time we walk by a set and he sees a catering truck, he's like, is that Hannah? Do we think that
Yeah, the best caterer in the world.
I miss all the jokes that Matthew would make about how he looks like Hillary Swank. In a while.
We would get into that round table.
Hillary Swank haircut joke.
And the round table room would just always be like, they would always shoot that I always felt like we would typically shoot that at the end of an episode, right? And because we had a tempo and everybody knew what they were doing in there, but we would just be so chatty, like it would just be
Oh my gosh,
90% chat and
oh my god. But then those were also the days where we usually have a table read, so everyone would be loopy because you didn't have a lunch break and you just table
punch
read, and then you're like loopy and you're trying to fit in recess basically.
Mm-hmm.
During the round table time.
Someone said the premiere of the last episode of Criminal Minds was last night was last night in Ireland and the UK. So hi, Ireland and the UK.
Ooh.
Yeah. Thank you for watching it. They were really
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. They are just now having that experience, but I'm glad. I'm glad that people enjoyed it. It seems like people really connected with the show. And
they've done so many reboots on shows, and like I always wonder why they don't do reboots of some shows, and you're like, why didn't they? And if the reason is that the cast didn't get along, that's not our reason.
No.
Why don't they do ours like right after why don't we just get a script right now and just start recording this and just say it's.
We were talking about this without like getting too inside baseball about like how cool it would be to do a reboot on cable or streaming, because then it could be like even edgier,
Yeah.
darker. Although it was already like a really dark show, but
I don't
I
need
feel
dark,
like
I just
we
need
maybe
more
have a little more freedom with the comedy side of it. You know what I mean? Like it's a dark show, but like we would maybe be able to laugh at it a little bit more. I don't, if that makes sense. You know what I
I
mean?
feel like we kind of got more. Don't you feel like the show got a lot more? And you guys, that you've all been there way longer than me, but like we got some more comedy in like the last few seasons. Like there was
for
really
sure.
fun stuff with Kirsten, like with you and Adam's character, and there was like some more. There was like a lot of brightness that happened. There
I
was
just think
Adam and Daniel that was really cute. Like they were like a little sidekicks.
each season had its own like personality, and which I think is what's kind of cool about the show. People are very possessive of certain seasons
Yeah.
and certain episodes, whether it be Entropy or I don't know, Riding Lightning or whatever, like certain ones. The only reason why I'm saying Riding Lightning was the episode that AJ and I carpooled, and we barely talked to each other before then. And we carpooled together for Riding Lightning, and we sort of spilled the tea like crazy the entire time there and back, and then became fast friends.
Doing the car scenes are always so good because you just chat each other's ears off, which I love. Like just being in a car for a while was always really nice.
Yeah, because you're like,
right?
Why didn't Daniel call in on this one? Daniel has no excuse to not be here right now.
Oh, Daniel, where is he? Is he in America?
In town.
He's here. Well, I think he's in the US.
Yeah. So I know Adam was hoping to join, but he has been having first of all, he just had a baby. I think that's public knowledge.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the last Zoom. So
Like just had a baby.
yeah. So that he's just
A boy.
Baby boy.
Finally gets a little boy, a little Adam. Can you imagine?
Oh my
No.
God. Amazing. He's got his hands full. And also he said his internet's kind of kooky. And then Daniel and Matthew and Paget, some people love to Zoom and some people don't love to Zoom. And that's just the way that the world.
Oh, I didn't know Daniel didn't like to do the Zooming.
I don't know what Daniel is doing. I just feel like Daniel is doing a video with his dog, with Roscoe, where they're flying through the air like ET and
there's like 5 Daniels.
Exactly, there's like 5 Daniels and they're all flying through the air with individual
We're
Roscoe.
too low-fi for him right now.
And then he's got a Tumi bag and then he's gonna hit a home run, a hole in one on a 400-yard long.
We may find out he's become the premier of South Korea since
Exactly.
we saw him last.
Yeah.
He's living his best life.
I have a question. If people don't have questions, do people have questions?
People have lots of questions, but why don't you ask your question?
I wanted to know, we asked this question with my family over Easter time. I want to know what you three are looking forward to doing when you get to go out into the world. What adventures are you plotting right now? Are you plotting any?
Joey?
I don't know. I've never been a planner about anything, much about my career, my life, in the sense that to me, part of the excitement was you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So in other words, let's live for today. Let's see what happens tomorrow. So I'm not planning anything. I'm just kind of, like they say, what do you want for your birthday? And I always say another birthday,
That's a really good wish, Joe.
Yeah.
That feels exactly right.
But I'm looking forward, obviously. But I think one interesting thing I think is that hopefully, that when this is all done, and it will, this crazy time will pass, that hopefully since it's happened to the world, it just didn't happen to a country or a part of the world, the entire world, that hopefully will move forward, just even if it's a small increment to maybe a better place. We'll learn maybe a little something, if nothing else, to do this kind of communicating, face to face, and or realize how important it is to that whole thing of you don't respect freedom until you lose it. And so it's the same thing with now. We've lost that personal contact. The fact that you can't touch anybody, is like, it will make you appreciate when the day comes when you can, in some ways, and expand that upon everything in life,
Yeah. Someone was saying about like the idea of wearing a mask, and that it's really actually like a selfless and a generous thing to do, because it's not about necessarily protecting yourself from someone else. It's about making sure that if you have something, you don't pass it on, and
Right.
that maybe it might reframe how we think about things, and we start doing things in a more selfless way, in a more considerate way, which I really hope, you know, I mean, it's kind of human nature to like look out for your own, but hopefully maybe what we get out of this whole thing is that we're starting to think about how our lives affect other people and how we're connected, how we're more connected than we think.
Absolutely.
What are your plans, Kirsten?
Oh, well, I'm trying to write something. I had this big dream that I was going to write something and send it and, you know, go to Scotland again this year, and they canceled the Edinburgh Fringe. So that's not happening, and that's okay. And, you know, I think it made me very peaceful to hear what Joey was saying, because I'm with that. Like, I sort of see what's there available and then go forth from there. And I totally agree with what you're saying, because I think that this is giving us a real moment to learn that people come before money. People actually come before the economy, and that each life is precious. That even as we're talking right now, there are people that are needlessly kicking the bucket because and also there are people that are not kicking the bucket because people chose to do the generous choice of wearing masks or staying inside, and that all of that is happening at the same time, and we're all so intimately in this together, and we're all having to learn how to be good company to ourselves, and that you find out really intimately that the caller is coming from inside the house. Do you know what I mean? You find out really intimately, like all this stuff that you thought you were going to do that you didn't have the time for, or all the stuff that you beat yourself up on that was out there. You're like, oh no, I can do this inside alone with 3 cats. Like, they are my nemesis. They're my biggest critics.
They're not fans. They really just tolerate you.
I try to do things for that. They're like weird. I have like a polyamorous relationship with them. They're like my boyfriend. They're like my agent. They're like, they're my therapist. They're all the things right now. And yeah, so it's really, I think it's really galvanizing and interesting. And it's hard for me to imagine things ahead of what's happening right now. So I keep going like, is it gonna be different than this? Or is this just the rest of my life? Because I'm very used to acclimating, like get in a situation to acclimate. So that's gonna be interesting. So I think I'm heartened by what you're saying, Joey, because I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
What about you, Jay? What are you hoping to do when you can go behave and quote normally again?
Well, I mean, the silver lining
Get your kids out of the house.
for
Besides,
me,
get the shit out of
no,
all of us.
and this is like the irony of it all is that I personally have been wanting like a reset button, you know, like just some time. I feel like I've never been able to catch up, you know, and I feel like I'm always like one step behind and I'm running real hard. And this happened, and in some strange way, it allowed me to just unplug, like really unplug, and just sit with my family and sit with myself. I wasn't prepared for that, you know, like to really listen to what's going on in your heart of hearts and in your head, and how that can like harmonize together, you know? And I really hope that people, that this is, we come out of this better, you know, like mentally and spiritually and physically. I mean, everyone keeps joking about like, hey-oh, the quarantine bod, hey-oh, like everyone's coming out of this, you know, 15 pounds heavier, but like, who cares? You know, because it's a real moment. This is never gonna happen again.
Yeah.
I mean, let's hope it's not, but like, we've been given this golden opportunity to just sit and collect ourselves and to really connect with the people that are right in front of your face. So it's been a really beautiful thing. Difficult, you know, it's difficult, but it's been a beautiful thing. And I hope that everyone comes out the other side, you know, better.
I know that was really beautifully put, all of you. I want to point out that an AM Rainier who says, as a doctor, it's been a wild period. Coronavirus has obviously been affecting a lot of people. There's a lot of fear, and we need more reinforcement for healthcare workers. They're going through a lot. My sister is a healthcare worker. She works in a hospital. She's been very afraid, not just for herself, but for her wife, who is immunosuppressed. And so, you know, I think it's really important. I think we think about healthcare workers as being kind of impervious and, you know, bulletproof, and also maybe because a part of it is their job to kind of be very staid and businesslike to make us feel calm that maybe they don't feel fear, but they're really going through a lot. We actually, this is not a magical moment, but like, we had some PPE that we sent. We had a girlfriend whose sister's a nurse, and she had one mask that she was like saving for an emergency in her locker at work. And we had a box of masks that we'd ordered a long time ago, and we sent them to her, and she literally burst into tears. Like, these people, they are superheroes, but they're not impervious. You know what I mean? They're not robots. So I think it is really important to remember what they're going through and how afraid they are for themselves and their families, and to try to communicate that to anybody in your life who's working in that space, because they really are on the front lines. And also, Dean Ennis says, please come to Ireland. Well, I've been to Ireland many, many times.
I want to go to Ireland so bad.
I want to go to Ireland.
I love Ireland. I will be back in Ireland. We should all go to Ireland. And then someone also asked if Kirsten would go back to Edinburgh, and I love Edinburgh as well. And did you have a great time at the Fringe Festival?
They had the dreamiest, most amazing, most wonderful time. And of course, I'm going to go back. I just can't go back right now. But yeah, but when I go back, I will go to Ireland, somewhere around there. I know they're two different places, and I will go.
They're very close together, by the way.
I know, but they're very close together.
Yeah.
So it's basically like going to Orange County, which I do all the time because of the distillery. Not right now, but yes, yes, and yes.
So we've got to do all of those things. I'm going to ask a lighter question, but first I'm just going to remind people about our charity, which is this happy hour is Feeding America, which is the umbrella organization for a network of food banks across the country, working to end hunger, and not just during the COVID crisis, but afterwards. And they're really focused on COVID affected families who are experiencing either food insecurity or true hunger. So if you can donate, feedingamerica.org. Every little bit counts. It doesn't have to be a big donation. It could be as little as $1, $5, whatever you can do. Think about how much money we all used to spend when we went to get like a Starbucks every day or a takeout every day, and maybe just donate one takeout meal that you would have probably had before the coronavirus crisis, because it's going to change somebody's life. So,
and if it doesn't hurt you, maybe consider giving as much as you would say buy a week's worth of groceries.
Exactly. That's exactly right. If you can do it, your donation of a week's worth of groceries could be a week's worth of groceries for 5 or 10 families, because
Absolutely.
The way these food banks work, they push all the donations together. They're able to really take advantage of economies of scale, buy lots of food at one time. Obviously, one thing that's going on right now, which is really interesting and frustrating, is because a lot of restaurants are closed, they're not buying all this food. So some of this food is getting donated. But the big problem is there's a surplus of food and there is a surplus of need, but there aren't the personnel between to get the food to where it needs to go. So these food banks are also trying to work on chains of supply to make sure that oversupply of food gets to the people that need it most. So any little bit counts. And I encourage you to go check out Feeding America. They're a great organization. They're very efficient with their money. They do good work. So check all of that out. Okay, here's a question. Everybody wants to know what we've been watching on television or films. What have you been doing with your face? What have you been doing with your face since you've been in quarantine?
I'm ready. Does anybody need time? Because I'm ready.
You already went.
Oh.
Let Joey, you want to
Go.
No, I watch nothing. So I mean, I'm looking at the ocean now, and that's like,
That's the best show right there, Joe.
Is like our baby Yoda. He's just very peaceful and
Zen master.
Kirsten, what are you watching?
I restarted Harry Potter from the beginning. So I'm doing that and making the Legos at the same time. I savored The Good Place. I never watched the final season. So I'm watching the final season. I watched it from the beginning to the end. Highly recommend that right now in terms of a morality tale. And it goes into like, do you know, I read this article that The Good Place actually explores the prison system in America. And also, and also it goes through all this philosophy shit. It's so good. And I have a couple of dear comedy people that I love that are make appearances on it. So The Good Place. And then what I do is I watch the shows on a loop. So meaning like I'll watch a half hour of The Good Place, a half hour of Parks and Rec, I'm rewatching, a half hour of The Office, I'm rewatching, a half hour of Seinfeld. I never watched the whole thing, but I loved it. A half hour of Curb Your Enthusiasm, a half hour of The Simpsons, and then I go back around. So I'm full, like only the happy shit, because that's all I can handle. Plus Harry Potter, plus Lord of the Rings, plus any Christopher Guest movie, and Schitt's Creek.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, people love that show. I'm going to interject before AJ answers, which is Ashley Cano says the great thing is that a lot of schools in her area are giving food to anyone who will take it. She's not sure if other places are doing this as well, though. But maybe if people are listening and they know someone who works with the school system in their area, they can find out and push that information out, because a lot of these schools buy these they buy all this frozen food service items in bulk, right? That they're microwaving for the kids and everything like that. And who knows, the kids are probably going to go back to school until the fall. So they could probably give all that food to food banks. So, sometimes some of these things are as simple as picking up the phone. You think, well, I can't do anything, but you probably can. So it might be worth it if you're a parent or you have any relationship with your local school district to see if they can donate all of their food to a food bank. AJ, are you watching TV or are you just trying to remember how to do fractions?
Well, I haven't been watching much, mainly because our internet is so fabulous here. But I just finished the final season 3 of Ozark.
So did I, dude.
I mean,
Unbelievable. I watched the darkest stuff. Like, I don't know.
You know that Chris Mundy, who was a showrunner at Criminal Minds, was one of the people on that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I did know that.
I watched the darkest stuff, and I feel like, Kirsten, you probably, during this time, we should be watching like bright, optimistic places, but all
I know.
Handmaid's Tale and Westworld and Ozark is just bleak, bleak, bleak. But
they're so good.
I mean, they're so good. This season of Ozark was banana.
Yeah.
Lauren Hyman says, in all caps, Ozark, yes. Oh my gosh. And she is right. It's just banana.
How about Tiger King, yo? Who's watching Tiger King?
I'm so pissed because I started Tiger King with my dude, and then I fell asleep, and then he had watched all 6 episodes.
It's that thing where you're like, no, it can't get weirder. No, it can't get weirder. No. It can't get weirder. And it just
take your life watching that one.
What's that, Joey?
I said I saw that one episode of my wife wanted to check that out. I watched that first episode. It made me appreciate my life more watching that Tiger guy. I said, okay, I'm glad I'm
exotic.
Joe as opposed to that Joe.
Didn't it both kind of like make you
that Joe
and then wonder if you were really living your life to the fullest? Because like that guy was like a pop star and he had like tiger pets and like 4 like 19-year-old husbands, and it was like doing drugs off a white.
I maybe do want Joe to be Joe Exotic for Halloween.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be really great.
So Nate's friends have started calling him Nate Exotic.
Absolutely accurate, completely called for, totally co-signed.
I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but I did.
Co-signed. Everyone is like, why? People were like, why isn't Criminal Minds the show you're watching? And I'm like, because we lived it, guys. Like, don't take it personally, but like we remember what
I used
happened.
to tell people you have a choice. You have a choice. I can either watch it or act in it. Like, what do you want?
But just like also like when you watch it, you're like, I just did that. Like I remember.
What do you do for a
That would
living?
be like watching your own home movies. You know?
Yeah.
You want to watch a video of yourself, like at you know what I mean?
Here I am filing things in alphanumeric.
No one wants. I don't want to see that.
No. Here I am sliding a tray of cookies into the oven at the sandwich place.
You know what will be hilarious though? One day, far, far, far from now, is watching Criminal Minds.
So it's all
like just
right?
a marathon.
Years from now, right? Like years from now to watch it.
Years, like decades. You know, like I think that'll be a trip.
I don't want anybody watching to get excited because I feel very confident this is not going to happen. All right. So don't like freak out and please do not at me. I will not look at your at. I do not care. But it would be really funny to just like at some point down the stream, like live tweet an episode of the show, like all of us.
I'm gonna at you. I'm gonna at you about that.
Well, I'll look at your app because I love you, but I'm not looking at any fans' apps.
Let's see if my hair changes to a third color.
But I mean, it was around before.
Silver Fox Everett.
It was around before iPhones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were holding trios for fuck's sake.
Oh yeah. Shamar had a flip phone. Remember his bat belt? He had like the flip phone. He had the Razor. Do you remember the Razor?
Oh,
the phone.
I do.
Amazing.
Oh, I know that Razor well. He's very well, by the way. He has texted me. He has texted me a couple of times. He sends his love. I tried to get him. I was like, You know how cool it'd be if you got on the phone with me and we did a thing,
Oh my gosh.
how morale
Right
would,
to the internet.
but whatever.
Well, I want to say that the people that are not on this call, I mean, they don't love you. Some of them were not in a position to Zoom, and some people just don't love to Zoom, and that is okay. We never want to make anybody feel pressure to like be on the interwebs, because there's so much going on right now. Not everybody's in the same mental state as we are. But I love that all of you guys are visiting us. I want to remind you of the charity, which is Feeding America. It's at feedingamerica.org. You know, whatever you can do would be great. I think Kirsten made a good example. What if you gave as much as you would spend on a week's worth of groceries? Because that could be a week's worth of groceries for several families. And it's crazy right now. We can't really volunteer, but I think one thing that will be really exciting to do. I have actually a girlfriend who has been volunteering this entire time. She doesn't have any children. Her and her spouse kind of made a deal. She's been wearing, you know, protective gear, and she's been doing that. I'm not going to encourage anybody to go out and volunteer right now, because I think that's a pretty risky behavior. Everybody has to make their own decisions, but some people are doing that, and I think that they're to be admired. People are out there on the front lines making sure that hungry families are getting what they need. Kirsten's spirits company is blinking out.
Well, we're not making spirits right now, although you can actually order our spirits online, but I wouldn't order our spirits online. I would order Courage and Stone, because it's already made for you, and you can get that online and have it sent to your house. And 30% of the profits go to the Bartenders Guild. So I would do that. But if you need to buy hand sanitizer,
Kirsten has turned her company into a hand sanitizing making company.
you need hand sanitizer, you should go to us. And it's been really, really exciting. I haven't been able, huh?
You're amazing. You're all amazing.
I didn't do anything. You know what I did? Do you know what I did? And then I'm pretty proud of, and I'm a little drunk, which is Aisha's fault, but I will share.
Drunks. I'm not just drunk, I'm drunk.
As with Aisha will attest to, owning a booze company is tricky and expensive, and you're doing it because you love it, not because you're going to make a shit ton of profit on it. And we were in a really weird space. And when this whole thing happened about a week before Garcetti even put the shutdown on, Robin, who's one of the people I work with, used to work in the medical field, and she was like, we should make sanitizer, but we don't have any money. And criminal minds money. So everybody who's watching this thing right now, that's the reason why we were able to make hand sanitizer, because I was able to pull a huge chunk of money out of my bank account and throw it at the distillery. So we were able to buy a bunch of chemicals that are in compliance with the WHO, which is an amazing organization.
Yes, and should,
no matter what anybody says,
should continue to be funded. They are
yes,
saving time.
and it's adheres to their standards. And we're making hand sanitizer that every single nonprofit and restaurants can pretty much get for free. And the only place we're charging is places that have funds, but we're giving it away. We just sent gallons and gallons of it to a bunch of restaurants in San Francisco, and gallons and gallons of it to different hospitals, Cedars-Sinai, Children's Hospital, Salvation Army. And but I think that that's a test of, I think every business can be doing this right now.
We can all do our part. And I want everybody to know, when you're listening, whether you feel like you're able to do a lot, you're able to do very little, or you can't do anything at all right now, don't feel anxious about that. Everybody's going through this in a different way. Everybody's feeling a different way about it.
Yeah.
For some people, it's an opportunity. For some people, it's creating a lot of anxiety. Don't feel like you have to feel any pressure to do anything more than what you're able to do.
Yeah, you participate where you're at. Like if you're you have to either learn the art of asking or the art of receiving, and you figure out where you're at and you do that.
And I love you guys so.
That's why I loved all three you girls, and our missing Pop-Tarts as well. See, this is why anybody watching this can understand why we're all so close, and why it's just, anyway. I'm proud, and thank you, Aisha, for making this happen today.
Oh, I love you guys. I can't. It's everyone's saying this is their favorite cast, but like, guys, we love each other very much. We all feel very fortunate that we were able to have this extraordinary experience. So thanks for hanging out with us today. The next happy hour, I'll post. It's going to be, I think it's going to be, I don't know. I haven't picked the charity yet. I haven't picked any of it yet, but I'm excited. So follow me, follow everybody online, say hi to them. Thanks for watching. CourageandStone.com, feedingamerica.org. Is it blinkingowl.com? blinkingowl.com.
BlinkingOwlDistillery.com.
BlinkingOwlDistillery.com. Thank you so much for watching. And I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye,
We love you.
love
Bye,
you.
guys. So good to see your faces. You're the best.
Guys.
Bye, babies.
Love you.
Bye, you guys. Thank you for watching our show. Thank you for our jobs, and thank you for letting us meet each other.
Thank you.
Bye.
No, babies.
Bye.